morning. Just a reminder that the usual COVID protocol must be practiced as people make entrance into the room, so that we are not, or we must be aware of the things that we need to do, and we have to comply with the process of doing things. Just a bit of a reminder this morning on that. Before I get you through the proceeding for this morning, I also have a diary in front of me here that establishes the way forward as we go through this morning. At the same time, I'm also mindful of the fact, and I keep on reminding everyone of the time factor. And these time factors, they are crucial in the way we conduct ourselves through the entire duration of this Commission of Inquiry. But without going into the merits of that, we will proceed as the way we do and get on with the business of the inquiry. So I have with me on this daily diary the outlines that you must know, which I viewed from and reviewed from time to time. In light of the establishment and commencement of the Motukea Commission of Inquiry, but sometimes maybe I have chosen foolishly the venture, the risk, the apogee or sinus of some historical position that I believe may have led to certain facts the Commission need to define, the depth of compliances to give effect to the meaning of the statement of case which was read earlier on, and which I believe you have in your possession. And sometimes as I read and mused upon it, it seems to me, in the very best tradition that we come through, highlighted by this historical background of this inquiry, pleading for change. And sometimes people say a change at deeper level, or sometimes we describe it as using one of the versions that I normally use is deeper than cosmetic. So let me emphatically label a change that will affect the very source of being motive screens from which action comes and character is developed. Which led me to a question that I'm trying to emphasize this morning. should a fiasco in time, label, or determined by the questions such as, are the public statement made accurate from the historical position or perspective? Now, one must be very careful not to judge the sincerity of another person, which is evaluated from the evidence of facts before this commission. When we start to sift the lines of truth from the authoritative, objective, or from the relevant laws to our own feelings, that becomes incredibly dangerous. So what do I say here? To simplify this statement, in presence of feelings and no sure evidence that a person is being led by the authority, circumstances will fit it is unsuspected, give feelings and impressions. All should acquaint themselves thoroughly with the evidence of facts. And I made certain emphasis on the subjectivity of the overall structure of this Motukea Commission of Inquiry. That is the reason why this morning, as your chairman and commissioner, I am going to stand with the authority and with all men of goodwill in defense of the basic and the fundamental truth of the objective of the government initiative to move with the Motukea Commission of Inquiry. And you come with me this morning. We must be true to our duty. But sometimes people say, as the needle is to the pole. And these emphases are important, which is embedded in the strategic directions that I stand on the basis of this Commission of Inquiry. I will move on further to look at the order of the things today, which we have about 2 of them. Let me emphasize again, given the benefit of doubt, that we have a duty, and this duty must be demonstrated, and not only that, it must be complied with within time. I'm very much aware of consequences that can come about as a result of not complying to certain directions that we need to comply with. That is the reason why it is very, very important that all of us sitting here this morning, that we have a responsibility to deal with this. With these opening remarks, once again, thank you for attending the hearing this morning. And I believe that as we put our heads together with this thing, this inquiry, we can achieve the best that we can, and especially for the people of this country and the initiative of the government. That's why as we go on further, I stress very frankly that time factor is very, very important. That, you and I should know that very well in order to achieve the objective of the Commission of Inquiry. With that, and now I call upon the Council assisting with the Commission of Inquiry to take us through for the period for this morning.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner, there are two matters of summonses that are returnable this morning per the Daily Diary. For the record, M. Keeper, appearing with Mr. Gibson Guerrero, both as a council assistant, beg the pardon. The summonses that are returnable for this morning are summons number 3 and summons number 4. Summons number 3 was issued to Curtin Bros Holdings, NG in brackets Limited, and summons number 4 was issued to Ballymore number 39 Limited. By way of a background, both summons initially returned on the 17th of December 2021 and were extended on directions to today for further mention. Commissioner, we have a Mr. Neville McNamara, who is a representative of both Curtin Bros and Ballymore number 39 Limited, who is in attendance this morning. So if I could kindly ask Mr. McNamara to take the witness stand. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Good morning.
Yes, my name is Neville McNamara, representing Curtin Brothers in Ballymore.
Yes.
I'm the logistics manager.
Thank you, Mr. McNamara. And I understand that you have with you some documents to produce to the Commission in response to the summonses that were issued.
Yes, that's correct. I've got some documents to hand into the Commission inquiry.
And that you have a cover letter to produce to us as well.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Commissioner, we will take possession of the cover letter and the documents, which are in electronic form, in the form of an USB, which Mr. McNamara has in his possession currently, and then we will produce it hand it over to the Commission. We will review the documents in the flash drive or the USB, and according to the directions of the 17th, there is another tranche of documents that Curtin Brothers and Ballymore are to produce on the 28th of February 2022. So this documents that are here this morning is the first tranche, and there is a second one that will be produced on the 28th of February 2022 per the directions of the 17th of December 2021. So we will ask for directions for summons number 3 and summons number 4 to be extended to the 28th of February 2022 at 9:30 a.m. for mention.
Thank you, Council. The emphasis on the subjectivity of the time factors have me aware of the situation. Given the benefit of doubt, that I have the knowledge of around about 2021 of the facts surrounding this, and I'm fully aware of the circumstances that have come about in relation to that. In my earlier emphasis on that, I strongly stress that I do not go past a time limitation of 14 days, simply because of the reasons that when I look at the timeline of the Commission of Inquiry, I'm mindful of the fact that situation can develop, and that's the reason why we need to comply. Not only that, we do it the right way and assist this commission in getting through to meet the objective of the commission. And for that reason, having weighed the circumstances and the activities that have gone before it, I have critically looked at that, and I weigh the evidence before it. And therefore, the Commission directs that summons number 3, dated 10 December 2021, is further extended to Monday, 28 February 2022 at about 9:30 a.m. for mention. Dated is 2nd day of February 2022 by the Commission. On that same note, I'm also aware of the fact that summons number 4 in relation to that gives effect to the situation, and therefore, in light of that, the Commission, having weighed the circumstances, directs that summons number 4, dated 10 December 2021, is also further extended to Monday, the 28th of February 2022 at about 9:30 a.m. for mention. Authorized and dated the 2nd day of February 2022 by the Commission. That is the 2 directions that now being issued this morning. And I like to emphasize again the subjectivity in line with the time factors, along with the timeline of the duration of the Commission of Inquiry, that I must stress that it must be complied with, and any further extension up to that date will be very serious in nature. We will have to consider it. But at this juncture, I've given these two directions that will be returned on the 28th of February, thus allowing the Commission and the Legal Counsel to have a look at the documents. It's not only looking at the document, but we've got to verify the validity of the documents and if it's relevant to the cause of the information that this Commission of Inquiry is looking for. The relevancy of the document. It is very, very important. So those are the two directions, and I'm satisfied given the situation, the circumstances we've been granted until 28th of February 2022. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. McNamara, for your attendance this morning and producing those documents. Commissioner, if we could have Mr. McNamara excused from the witness stand.
Thank you, Mr. McNamara, for your participation this morning. You can now be excused from the witness box.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Commissioner, those are all the matters for this morning. If the inquiry could be adjourned to the next hearing date. Thank you.
Thank you, Council, and those that have attended this morning. We have only these two agenda on the items for this morning, and we have dealt with these directions given. And once again, I'd like to make sure that when we return again on the date set, we should be able to get all those documents in place to help us proceed further in this Commission of Inquiry. I make this as an important statement. Why? Because sometimes the tendency that I see in some of our conduct can lapse in between, and therefore we'll come to a situation where we can easily forget what we're supposed to be doing, and it will create the period where we might ask for more extension. And that's the reason why I've been emphasizing on that all the time, to keep people on the same wavelength of our information that is passed through in this Commission of Inquiry. I like to complete this Commission of Inquiry on time, and I do not perceive in any situation that it will be extended because something has happened in between that needs some kind of explanation. And that's why all of us have a duty. You guide this commission and help the commissioner make the right decision for this Commission of Inquiry. And on that note, I thank all of you once again, Council assisting. Thanks, McNamara and the team for coming, for making yourself available this morning. And we hope to see you again on the date set when we return back on the 28th. And I don't see me going any further, and I might ask my associate to adjourn this hearing for this morning.